हेलो शिल्पा मैम।
Yeah, hello Shafali.
हाँ मैम।
Yes, yes.
हाँ
Wait. You can switch on the lights. It's coming dark on the face. No?
हाँ
We'll start the program.
Yes, sir.
Did you scream my bracelet? Bracelet.
Sir, for another 5 minutes we will wait. I think sharp at 4:05 we will start. मुझे बिल्कुल सिर्फ तुम्हारी सपोर्ट चाहिए क्योंकि मैं तुम्हारे अलावा और किसी को ट्रस्ट नहीं करती हूँ जल्दी से आ जाइए आपके घर पर हॉस्पिटल में मदद
बालक तुझे I think, madam, we should start. It's already 6 minutes now. You are mute, Shilpa madam.
Yes, sir. All the panel members have also joined, so I think we should go
Just
ahead.
check now whether Miss Aishwarya Parvatkar is there.
Yes,
Neve
yes,
sir,
they are
Neve
joined.
sir is there.
Yes, yes. They have joined, sir.
नेवे सर नमस्कार. तुम्ही आहात ना ग्रुप मीटिंग मध्ये?
नेवे सरांचं नाव पाहिलेलं मी सर पार्टिसिपेंट्स मध्ये.
अरुण नेवे साहेब, तुम्ही आहात ना मीटिंग मध्ये?
आहेत सर.
आहेत ना?
हो हो.
हा, दिसत आहेत. करेक्ट करेक्ट करेक्ट. पण त्यांना ऐकू येतोय का आपला आवाज? वेदर इज एबल टू लिसन?
Yes, clear.
या, येस.
Okay.
Okay then. Let us start then, madam.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, one and all present here. Pharmacist's Day is celebrated worldwide on 25th September every year. And on this eve of Pharmacist's Day, myself, Dr. Shilpa Bhilegavkar, faculty from PSS Rajaraman and Tarabai Bandekar College of Pharmacy, Goa, and Goa State Coordinator for Western Regional Center of Association of Community Pharmacists of India, welcome you all in this panel discussion and also wish you all a very happy World Pharmacist's Day to everyone who is present on this platform. Now to go ahead with, as we rightly say, that if physicians are the face of the healthcare system, pharmacists are said to be the backbone of the same. Venturing for manufacturing and dispensing of safe and effective medicines, the profession of pharmacy has expanded into various sectors such as academics, research, manufacturing, regulatory, community, clinical, marketing, hospital, and so on, trying in all ways to uphold the standards of the profession and to provide the safe and effective medicines for the society. The theme holds very true for this year's World Pharmacist Day, that is pharmacists strengthening the healthcare system. Again, to go ahead with, we can say, change is unsaid truth of the life which aims at change for innovation, change for betterment, change for comfort. And with the changing scenario, every profession needs to go ahead with a change. On this occasion, Western Regional Center of Association of Community Pharmacists of India has organized this panel discussion to get inputs from the various sectors of the pharmacy profession to for the betterment of our profession and also to handle the changing requirements of the healthcare around us. Here, I request President of WRC ACPI, Dr. Rakesh Somani sir, Principal of D.Y. Patil School of Pharmacy, and Navi Mumbai to inaugurate today's session and to welcome all the participants who are present on this platform.
Thank you, madam. A very warm good evening to one and all present on this platform today. Let me extend my best wishes to all of you as the very great festival of Lord Ganesha is going on across the country. So on behalf of Western Regional Center of Association of Community of Pharmacy of India, I declare that this particular today's panel discussion is open. Let me tell you that WRC, Western Regional Center, comprises of 4 states, Maharashtra, Gujarat, Rajasthan, and Goa. And D.Y. Patil University School of Pharmacy, Navi Mumbai, is the headquarter of this WRC. Today, on account of World Pharmacy Day, we have organized this particular panel discussion wherein the different panelists would be, enlightening us about how do they perceive the role of pharmacist into the healthcare system. I'm really happy that all of you have accepted our invitation and you are here to enlighten us. All these discussion will be, recorded, and something important which is coming out of this discussion will be communicated to the regulatory bodies also as and when required. Thank you so much, the entire core team members, for organizing this event, and I look forward for the great enrichment and great knowledge sharing session. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now I request Dr. Aditya Guge, Secretary of WRC ACPI and Assistant Professor at Bharati Vidyapeeth College of Pharmacy, Navi Mumbai, to present the activity report of WRC ACPI. Over to you, Aditya, sir.
Ma'am, Shefali, So just to give you a brief all about the things that we had been established on July 2020, and the main objective behind this was to get our community pharmacists to the front line. So just as the preface that I thank all who has made this report and contributed for making this report. Shefali, could you just go forward? Yeah. So this is the basic introduction. I'll again tell you that since we are into the information and globalization era, that every community pharmacist should be in the spotlight, because he or she is in direct contact with the patient, and he holds the very importance of our pharmacy profession as in all. So this is the basic introduction, and with this objective only we had started this Western Regional Center of Association of Community Pharmacists of India. So these are the basic objectives: to elevate and establish the basic standards for community pharmacy, develop and promote the short-term programs that as we go through the report. I'll show you the various activities that we have done. Yeah, this is just the working committee structure. I'll briefly will tell you this. So the foremost important thing is the president, the national president, Dr. Anantanaik Nagappa sir. So then comes our president for Maharashtra, not Maharashtra, the Western Regional Center, Dr. Rakesh Somani sir. Along with the president, there is one very important thing that is here is our mentoring team. So mentoring team consists of Dr. Rajendra sir, Dr. Saravdekar sir, Anil Muttunjaya sir, Dr. Praveen Ingre sir. Dr. Praveen Ingre and Anil Muttunjaya were the professors in Malaysia. So they were into the universities, medical universities over there. Dr. Isha Patel from USA, it's there, and Dr. Piyush Mittal is there. And again, with the secretary, I am the role in charge for that, and the joint secretary is Mr. Atul Kadam sir. So we have two vice president posts. So one for the program planning and execution, and the second one is for the outreach. So, and our treasurer. So with this, again, we have bifurcated ourselves into the state coordinators. We have provided all the 4 state coordinators. So for Maharashtra, Goa, Gujarat, and Rajasthan, we have different coordinators over there. Yeah, Shefali, could you just go forward? Yeah, these are the very few of the activities that we have listed. You can see that we have been inaugurated on the 18th August by the Vice Chancellor of the Gujarat Technical University. Then we have taken various different initiatives, digital celebration of our World Pharmacist Day in 2020, 21, 2022, and now today we are celebrating for 23. So this is the 4th day directly that we are celebrating the World Pharmacist Day in all. The most highlighting activity that we have taken is 1 month FDP for the faculties. It's a train the trainers program that we have taken. And Shefali, could you just go back to the previous slide? Yeah. And then different lecture series that we had conducted, including the very dynamic Mahesh Jagde sir. Then you can see Dr. Ashish Baldi, one of the teachers who have got the President's Award for Best Teacher. Then Mrs. Salaluddin and all, and Rajvedya sir, and different video making competitions we had taken last in 2021 also for on the occasion of World Pharmacist Day. So here, and obviously 65th National Pharmacy Week celebration in last year. So very important one, Dr. Geen Mohammad Ishaq and Dr. Atul Kumar Nasser, sorry, were present for that. So these are for this, Shefali. Yeah, these are the few glimpses that we are taking. Most of our programs, let's say 90-95% program, were the online program for all WRC activities that we are taking. Yeah, and with this, I guess, thank you. Thank you. This is in brief report that we have prepared. Thank you. Thank you. Over to you, Shilpa.
Yeah, thank you, Aditya sir. Now, as our main intention is to go ahead with the brainstorming session of the panel discussion here before starting. The panel discussion we are holding today is on the theme that is the pharmacists strengthening the healthcare system. As we have discussed before, that the pharmacists are contributing from various sectors and are helping all the doctors to strengthen the healthcare system in India and also worldwide. Here we have invited panel members from various sectors of the healthcare providers, the regulator, the prescribers, the users, whoever are contributing in distributing, manufacturing, and using the drugs. We have taken the representation from each sector of the healthcare system. And we are having with us Dr. Atul Nasser sir, who will be joining. He's in a medical emergency. He's in hospital, so maybe he will join in between some time. Who is Pro Vice Chancellor of SGT University, Gurugram. Next, we are having Mr. Sachin Kamble sir, Drug Inspector from FDA Maharashtra. We are having Dr. Anand Patil sir, Associate Professor, Department of Pharmacology. We are having Mrs. Aishwarya Parvatkar Katkar, PhD student in pharmacy. And we are having Mr. Arun Neve sir, who is the society representative who will be giving us inputs about the expectations of the society in terms of the pharmacy services. So here, I request Rupesh Gautam sir, core committee member of WRC SCPI, to introduce Dr. Atul Nasser sir and Mr. Sachin Kamble sir.
Thank you so much,
Over
ma'am.
to you,
Thank you so much, ma'am. Good afternoon to everyone. Dr. Atul Nasser sir is the Pro Vice Chancellor, SGT University, Gurugram. He worked as the head and controlling and licensing authority with the Drug Control Department. He is PhD in pharmaceutical sciences with 37 years of professional experience. He is member of the Drug Consultative Committee and Central Council of Pharmacy Council of India. He is member of Appellant Committee for All India Council for Technical Education. He served as a resource person for various training programs, seminars, and national and international levels. He worked for the upliftment of the pharmacy profession and professional and academic level. I welcome you, sir. Now, next is the Mr. Sachin Kamble, sir. He is 19 years of professional experience. He is a drug inspector, FDA Maharashtra. He worked as the deputy manager in quality department of Biocure Limited, Bangalore. He worked with laboratory of Foundation of Revitalization of Local Health Tradition. He is recipient of Pharma Ratan Award 2017. He is recipient of IPGA Fellowship Award for year 2022. He is recipient of Maha Ayush Kamal Purishkar from Department of Ayush, Government of India. On behalf of WRC ACPI, I welcome you, sir. Over to Shilpa ma'am.
Thank you, Rupesh sir. Now further, I request Yogesh Chaudhary sir, our core committee member, to introduce Dr. Anand Patil sir, Mrs. Aishwarya Parvatkar Katkar, and Mr. Arun Neve sir.
Thank you, ma'am. So we have Dr. Anand Patil from the Department of Pharmacology, D.Y. Patil Medical College. Sir had a work experience in the different Indian and multinational pharma companies. He is also associate editors of 5 books with the authors coming from almost over 15 countries. He is an editorial board member for the various journals at national as well as at international level. Sir had received the Best Teacher Award by Dr. D.Y. Patil School of Medicine in 2022 and Sherlock Holmes Award by the Student Council in 2023. Sir had authored more than 140 articles as well as many book chapters. He is also a member of Ethics Committee and Pharmacovigilance Committee at D.Y. Patil Medical College. And sir had also worked as a speaker for the different conferences and workshops. Next panelist we have Mrs. Aishwarya Parvatkar, who is a PhD student. She had completed her M.Pharm from Goa University and she was a first rank holder in the Department of Pharmaceutics. She had worked with Vargo Clinics, Karolim, Goa as a trainee in the project management. She had completed her internship in the N-Cube Ethicals, Goa. She had also presented the papers and posters at various conferences and seminars and participated in various health camp and the patient counseling. The next panelist we have Mr. Arun Neve sir, who is a writer and poet. He will be acting as a society representative for our panel. He's a poet from the region that is Jalgaon, Khandesh. He's good at the poem as well as writing the articles, specifically in Marathi. So he had some of the titles, that is Sukhad Janiv, Dukhad Univ, as well as Ekvis Durvanchi Jodi, and he is also writing in Hindi literature. So with this brief interview, I will take over to the Shilpa ma'am.
Okay. Yeah, thank you, Yogesh sir. Now to start with the panel discussion, I'm happy as Rakesh sir said that WRC ACPI is continuously working by undertaking various activities to give and impart knowledge, to do the brainstorming sessions for the upliftment of the profession of pharmacy. We are having our active core committee members. Along with our panelists, they also will be participating in the panel discussion. We are having with us Dr. Rakesh Somani sir, Principal of D.Y. Patil School of Pharmacy. We are having Dr. Rahul Garg sir, Principal of Asian College of Pharmacy, Udaipur, Rajasthan. We are having Dr. Rupesh Gautam sir, Professor and Head Department of Pharmacology, Indore Institute of Pharmacy, Indore. We are having Dr. Om Prakash Bhusnure sir, who is Professor and Head of the Research Center at Channabashweshwar College of Pharmacy, Latur, Maharashtra. We are having Dr. Manoj Dikkatwar sir, Associate Professor in the D.Y. Patil School of Pharmacy, Navi Mumbai. We are having Dr. Yogesh Chaudhary sir, Assistant Professor from Dr. L.H. Hiranandani College of Pharmacy, Ulhasnagar. So here we'll start with the discussion. I request audience that during the discussion, if you are having any questions, to put in the chat box so that we can take them for discussion. In the meantime, whenever we are getting time. And first now to go ahead with, as the aim of the profession of the pharmacy, as I said before, is to manufacture and distribute the safe and effective drugs. But now to understand the safety as well as the efficacy, we require the support from all the doctors and the physicians. So here my question is for Dr. Anand Patil sir, that what is your opinion about the effectiveness of the pharmacovigilance program of India and the ADR reporting? Are they sufficient?
So thank you so much, ma'am, for first of all, thank you for inviting me for this prestigious panel discussion. And taking to your question of pharmacovigilance program of India. So let me take you back a little about how this program started and where are we today. This program basically started in 2010, and the official name Pharmacovigilance Program of India was given in 2015. We almost completed more than 10-15 years since this program has started. And as it is expected, not just in India, but even abroad, the rates of ADR reporting are not as we expect. There are several reasons. The underreporting, the main reason, what I feel, is that there's a fear among doctors. If I report adverse event, will I be liable for some kind of action? So that could be one of the reasons. Some reasons other than this could be awareness. Although the government of India through Pharmacovigilance Program of India is conducting a lot of awareness program. In fact, to just share with you all know that yesterday only we completed the third National Pharmacovigilance Week. We started from 17th of September and finished on 23rd. This was the third National Pharmacovigilance Week. So government is doing several initiatives, several activities. The awareness is increasing, but still the rates of reporting, they are very minuscule, I would say, because we all know that India is considered as the pharmacy of the world. And there's a report which says that by 2030, the Indian pharmaceutical turnover is going to be about 130 USD. Now, and we have almost more than 10,000 pharmaceutical companies which are manufacturing drugs. We have so much of population, we have so much of usage of drugs, but the reporting is minuscule. If you look at, I was reading some report back, that was an old report. It says that global safety database and India's contribution to the global safety database, it was 2016 or so, just 3% is what we contribute to the global safety database of the adverse event. The rate might have slightly increased, but again, considering the number of consumption of the medications, the consumption of the drugs by the people over the counter, the drug prescribed by the doctors, we have a long way to go. I published one article 10 years before that where do we stand? And after 10 years or so, although we have walked a long way, but I think there is still a long way to go, and we have to increase awareness. We have to educate people, we have to educate even doctors how to report, when to report, what to report. And I think we are on the right track, but we'll have a lot to do again. Thank you. That's my view.
Sir, is there any surveillance system we are having, that how many hospitals are reporting ADRs? Really, how much have to be there? Standard ADR reporting system is established. ADR reporting cell is there at every hospital by the virtue of regulations.
Yeah. So there is something called as the Adverse Drug Reaction Monitoring Center. We call them as AMC centers. The government of India has given the AMC center status to the hospitals across India, and there are about more than 500 adverse drug reaction monitoring centers across India. These centers, they get updated, they get their status recognized or de-recognized based on how much reporting they do to the government of India. The status In fact, the adverse event reporting is open to everybody. It's not necessary that you should have an AMC center. The AMC center is only means of the coordination in the areas or the hospitals around the city. For example, D.Y. Patil Medical College is one of the AMC centers registered. But anybody who is not associated with D.Y. Patil but practicing outside D.Y. Patil Hospital, they can also report to the D.Y. Patil Hospital. So the centers are established, centers are doing their own activities. The only thing is possibly we are again awareness is more restricted to the AMC center. If that awareness goes to the community, that would help us, because if you look at the last 2 years or 3 years themes of the National Pharmacovigilance Week, last year theme was concentrated on patients. How do we increase the awareness about ADR reporting among patients? This year's theme is based on how do we increase the awareness of ADR reporting among the consumers. So steadily and progressively, I think the awareness is getting built up, and we will be doing a great work in days coming forward.
Thank you, sir. My next question is for Mr. Sachin Kamble, sir. Sir, going ahead with the same discussion, that as sir said correctly, ADR reporting is not only required to be done at the hospitals. So as you have worked in the industry, also in the manufacturing sector, do you think that there is lack of patient education whenever it comes to maybe using the drugs, utilizing them effectively, and also to make the awareness amongst the public to report anything that goes which is not correct? We cannot say always it is very extreme ADR. It couldn't be ADR, but anything, any type of complaint reporting also is not educated to the patients. So do we have any regulation by the virtue of which the companies are made to give public education or the patient education in the society?
Basically, see, definitely it requires certain education or training to the patient to monitor the adverse drug event, whatever the drugs they are being used, either through certain leaflets or whatever. Some companies are providing it, but it is not enough to pass on the exact message and objective of ADR, because unless the ADRs are reported, the improvements will not be possible for the industry as well as for the regulatory agency. The data need to be collected for every minute ADR, be it's a significant or non-significant, relevant to the drug, or maybe the interaction which comes to the food or any other drug. Unless we report or record such event, it will not beneficial for the patient, because the team who is working behind such activities, they need such data to improve on their part, so that they can give the more safe and efficacious medicines. Thank you.
Okay. Sir, in this case, do pharmacists can play a significant role in making this ADR reporting platform and giving the insights to the patients about what to report, what not to report, how to report? Can we utilize the platform of the community pharmacists?
Definitely, pharmacists has a very vital role in this segment. See, as we say that pharmacies is everywhere, right from the research of the drug till it goes to till it comes to the patient's hand for the medication. See, there are some pharmacists, they are honestly doing this activity, appropriately guiding the patient through patient counseling program with their own. They need not require that somebody has to tell them to do this such monitoring. But certain people, certain other pharmacists are either they are not doing or they are not trained enough to educate the patients. If certain regulations or guidelines, such guidelines are there, but implementations are not happening in the correct way, so that each and every pharmacist start counseling to the patient what he has to be care to be taken by the patient while taking such medicines, do's and don'ts while following the course. For example, many times what happens, the course of antibiotic is not being followed by any patient. Then over a period of time, the antibiotic or antimicrobial drug resistance will come. And tomorrow or in future the situation may come that there is no choice of antibiotic or any drug to treat such any of the ailments or disorders. So pharmacist definitely will play a role in recording or monitoring such adverse event at his end, and the same can be forwarded to appropriate channel through the regulatory or to the industry, so that data can be monitored, recorded, studied, analyzed, and appropriate course of action can be taken up.
Okay. So, and one more thing I wanted to ask, that how we can centralize these ADR monitoring centers? Do you think we can go, it is possible in the nearest future in India?
Definitely. See now, pharmacies is everywhere. Pharmacist in the right. See, when we go to the ancient days, there was nothing mode of communication, or we do not had any idea or more research or data on that. But today we are in the digital world, so we have appropriate mode of communication are on the single like fingertips away. So if we establish such center at different level, maybe it community pharmacy or what we can call primary health center, and beyond that level. So this definitely will be helpful for each and every patient as well as for the industry who is working on this.
In fact, just to continue with this discussion, maybe one of the suggestions could be, as I said, the existing adverse event monitoring centers, they are located in most of the corporate hospitals, or they are located in the medical colleges. So if some of the associations like yours, they take an initiative and they request the government to give a AMC status to the major pharmacists, the community pharmacists, because for the patients, they might not have access to go to medical colleges, or they may not know even where is the center in the medical college. But if they know such and such pharmacy is being given a AMC status, so possibly that might help to increase the rate of reporting from the patient directly to the pharmacist.
Okay. Yeah, thank you, sir. So as you both said correctly, that pharmacists really can play a major role in bringing into picture the side effects, the ADR reporting of the medicines. But what is required is we have to gather the data from the public, and for that we have to educate them. Now, for the purpose of education, the pharmacists can play a very vital role. But are they confident? I want to throw a question to our panelist, Mrs. Aishwarya Parvatkar Katkar, that do you think that the students of our pharmacy profession currently are confident enough to go ahead with the patient counseling? Is enough practice given to them or training given to them? Aishwarya? Yes.
Yes. So I don't think with respect to community pharmacy, the enough training is being given to the pharmacist. With respect to industrial point of view, inclination is more towards the industrial training, but less training is being given in terms of community pharmacy, like particular drugs like albendazole. No one knows that albendazole is to be given on empty stomach for the reason we are taking it. Even doctors are telling that you have to take it after meals, but it is to be taken before meals. These kind of small trainings are not being given to the students with respect to drugs and dosage forms. So I think that we should be more focused on giving training in terms of community pharmacy point of view, so that when a student is going in community pharmacy line, they have more confidence and more they are able to have more knowledge, more better than the doctors sometimes, so that they can train the patients and counsel the patients with in terms of drugs and dosage forms.
Okay, so what you think is lacking in doing the effective patient counseling, means from where you gather the information or the books or the training?
So I think that what we are lacking is the basic knowledge. When we ourselves don't know which drug is to be taken when, or which drug is having what side effects, how are we going to counsel the patients? When a patient comes and asks us that this drug is it to be taken on empty stomach, there are many drugs which are to be taken on empty stomachs, and many of us don't know that it is to be taken on empty stomach, and which is not being taught also in the in the current curriculum. It is not actually told to us. So I think these things are to be more focused, because this is something that is very practical, and this is something that we face on a day-to-day basis. As a pharmacist, we are expected to know these things, and these things are not known to us. So I think more knowledge has to be provided in these terms.
Okay, so you think that there is a requirement to reform the syllabus of the pharmacy more towards the clinical orientation,
Yes.
right? Now,
Yes.
as the topic has come of the clinical orientation, we are having two major branches of the pharmacy. In the sector of the clinical, we are having pharmacy practice, PharmD, and we are having clinical pharmacy. Though we are having many graduates who are coming out by passing out through these streams, really whether doctors feel that their services are required in the clinics, in the hospitals. What do you think, Dr. Anand Patil, sir?
I think see, if you look at the Indian healthcare system, so when I say healthcare system, it's a system like our body. For example, take a respiratory system or a cardiovascular system. It's a healthcare system of the body. Every organ has its own function. So when the respiratory system has to work, the lung has to work, the bronchus has to work, the trachea has to work. One cannot work independently. So even if the doctor is qualified enough, pharmacists have their own role. The sisters have their own role. Everybody, when the flight has to take off, it's not just the engine. Even the wing, even the smallest of the nut bolts, they have their own role. If that particular part doesn't work, the system collapses. So pharmacists also have their own role. The only thing is there has to be better communication between the clinician and the pharmacist. The roles have to be exactly demarcated, segregated. It shouldn't happen, or it shouldn't be look like the pharmacist is taking over a role of a clinician, or a clinician is doing everything what pharmacist is supposed to do. So if the roles are demarcated separately, I think they have a huge role to play in the healthcare system. Secondly, when we look at the health divide in India, urban and the rural divide, there are about 70% people still live in the non-metro cities, and only 30% hospitals they are present in these areas. That means only 20 to 30% hospitals are catering to 70 to 80% population in the metro cities. So if that's the huge divide, clinician pharmacists, the clinical pharmacists, they have a huge role in the other areas. Those areas are untapped because there are not many hospitals available. There, the pharmacist can play a major role. As far as the metro cities are concerned, as I said, there has to be better dialogue between the doctors and the pharmacist to clearly demarcate where the role of pharmacist will start and where the role of doctor will end, and when the pharmacist is supposed to give a counseling or do the drug check or talk about the drug interactions. So if we have a clear-cut SOPs in place, possibly the pharmacist will be able to contribute significantly than what they are contributing today.
Sir, further going ahead with the same area of the question, that though we are bifurcating, segregating the lines of work of the physicians as well as the pharmacist, here one thing comes into picture, that whenever it comes to prescribing the drugs, okay, in that case, prescription analysis is one of the duty of the pharmacist. So how many doctors believe in the prescription analysis and they follow the inputs which are being given by the pharmacist? And at really how many places you have seen that such kind of inputs have been entertained?
Exactly. I think this is a very important and a pain point that you have highlighted and asked. Ideally, we all work in a sector which is a very dynamic sector. The information is every day changing. Even the indications, the contraindications, the precaution based on the update, based on the information that we get, it keeps on changing. So doctor ideally has to be very open to the prescription audits. Unfortunately, some hospitals they do prescription audit, but the question comes is, does it get implemented? Many times it's a question of open mindset. Few doctors they accept it, but large majority they might say that I'm a subject expert and this is what I feel is the right prescription. Who is somebody else to audit my prescription? So in that area, if the top-down approach comes, say for example, there's a policy of the hospital, corporate hospital has a policy. Randomly, so many prescription has to be audited. Then doctors, they don't have a choice. But in the personal clinics, these questions might come. If somebody is auditing their prescriptions, then there could be a question of ego, or there could be a question of maybe self, esteem. But in the corporate hospital, many hospitals, they have these policies of doing drug audit, and everything is in the best interest of the patient. Whether we are a doctor, whether a pharmacist, in the center is the patient. So whether prescription audit is being given, suggestion is being given to doctor, it's all for the interest of patient.
Thank you so
So
much.
we have to do a work in terms of highlighting what is the importance of this prescription audit and why this is important. Some hospitals, they're doing it diligently, and the doctors are being given the advice or maybe the expert opinion. Because I know some doctors, they tell me that this was coming from the prescription audit, and that's why I had to change this drug to this particular drug. So the changes are happening, but not to the extent that we expect.
Okay, thank you, sir. Now, for Mr. Sachin Kamble, sir. Now this clinical pharmacy, this pharmacy practice, pharmacy students, this sector of the pharmacy profession, if you see in the Western countries, they are more dominant. Basically, whenever we talk about the pharmacists, they have to appear for the exam. In every hospital, there is a separate department of the clinical pharmacy. They go on the rounds with the physicians. Physicians are the one who will only investigate. They will identify the problem and the line of the treatment, the incompatibilities. Everything will be checked by the clinical pharmacist before the prescription is dispensed. So this kind of system, is it required in our country? Or maybe as we are the generic manufacturers, we should focus more on that, or how it could be balanced? Or is there any requirement for the balance or not? What do you think about it?
See, when we compare with the Western system, definitely there is a pharmacist value or the importance given is much more. Maybe every patient before going to doctor, they approach to pharmacist, and everything is designed through them. But the same system in India, we are lacking somewhere. The difference might be that the training or the education part might be we are lacking in that system. We need to work on it and improvise the system where we are lacking, and such importance also we pharmacists also should get. Because see, the work done by pharmacies in India, it's unrecognized. The reason, there are multiple reasons are behind that. Maybe like the whatever the work being performed or done by the pharmacies is not presented, not advertised in appropriate way. It is not reached to the society, every corner of the society. We need to get societal involvement in our work. We need to involve the society to our work, so that every individual will get to know our work, and then only the importance of pharmacists will get increased the way it's in the Western countries.
Okay.
Whatever the work is done by today in our pharmacy professional, it is limited to arena of the pharmaceutical sector only. Many of the time we conduct various programs, various conference, but entire arena of that conference is up to only pharmaceutical sectors only. So the penetration of the pharmaceutical activities is not being to the societal corners. For example, the way we have the absorption, distribution, metabolism, and excretion, the similar way the work done by the pharmacist has to be, the penetration has to be much deeper, so that every individual will get to know the contribution of pharmacists. The recent example, what we can say, COVID-19, the good amount of work performed by the pharmacist is still unrecognized. But nevertheless, our pharmacist is still always there without any hopes, expectation. He is ready to deliver, and he is still continuously delivering. So we need to change our scenario. The education, what we are receiving, what we are giving to the pharmaceutical students, and what we are imparting to the society. This both should be reviewed once again, and how we can improvise this, so that respect to the farmers also will received from every societal member, and the work done by every pharmacist should reach out to the society. Thank you.
So
Yes, thank you, sir.
one more suggestion in this regard, ma'am, because your council is the pharmacy council, our council is the National Medical Commission. So what happens is the guidelines are prescribed by the NMC for the medical professional. If there could be a joint paper coming out from the National Medical Commission and the IPs, the Indian Pharmacy Council, how they can work in collaboration rather than working in silos or working in different segments. If there is a joint maybe commission or maybe some kind of paper comes out saying that this is what is the role of pharmacist in the hospital, this is what the clinician pharmacist will do, this is what the doctor will do, possibly that might help if it comes from the top down. Going from bottom up is very difficult because from bottom up there will be a lot of challenges that you would face from the doctor's level, at the hospital level, even the responsibility, who will be responsible for what. So
Yes.
if there's a top down approach, I think that would be much easier.
Yes.
I will
fully
just
agree with
interrupt here. I'll just interrupt. What Dr. Anand Patil said is right, but I would like to tell you that in the Constitution of Pharmacy Council of India, there is the president of NMC is always there as one of the invitees members. So he is supposed to be part of that committee.
Okay.
Whenever such kind of executive committee happens, he has to be there.
Okay.
Now, as we had a good session on the requirements, the counseling, where we are lacking, how we could serve the society in a different way in terms of the ADR reporting. Really, we have to see and take the opinions of the society members, the society representative, what they think about the pharmacist. Is the pharmacist is only the person who is dispensing the drugs or something more than that? So next, I would like to ask a question to Mr. Arun Neve, sir. Sir, welcome. Yeah. So, sir, up till now, the image of the pharmacist in the society was the one who dispenses the drug whenever it is needed. Do you think that they are doing something in addition to that? Are you
Definitely.
experiencing some change in the services of the pharmacist in the society?
Yes. Firstly, I request that can I speak in Marathi?
सर हिंदी मध्ये बोलूया नाही आपण हिंदी में बात करेंगे क्योंकि
चलो, ठीक।
नेशनल प्लेटफॉर्म के काफी लोग हैं
ओके
मैडम आप हिंदी में
ओके
सवाल पूछिए उनको हिंदी में सर जवाब देंगे कोई प्रॉब्लम
ओके ओके नो
मैडम परत पुन्हा एकदा विचारा देंगे
यस 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 सो सर मैं आपसे पूछना चाहती थी कि जब पहले हम फार्मासिस्ट का नाम लेते थे, पहले बहुत साल पहले तो बी फार्मेसी कोर्स ही थोड़ा सा लोगों को पता नहीं था। उसके बाद
ओके
फार्मासिस्ट यानी जो दवा देता है वो पर्सन यानी फार्मासिस्ट ऐसी इमेज थी। तो
हाँ,
आपको
हाँ।
क्या लगता है कि अभी ओवर द इयर्स कुछ फार्मासिस्ट के जो रोल है वो बदले हैं या सिर्फ दवा देने के अलावा वो और कुछ कर रहे हैं सोसाइटी के लिए?
बहुत कुछ अच्छा कर रहे हैं। फॉर एग्जांपल अगर मैं बता दूं कि मैं बचपन से देखता हूं तो बचपन में डॉक्टर और फार्मासिस्ट ऐसा नाम नहीं था, उसको कंपाउंडर ही कहा जाता था। एम आई राइट?
Yes.
कंपाउंडर से नाम से ही पहचाना जाता था, फार्मासिस्ट कंसेप्ट नहीं था। और कंपाउंडर वो एक छोटा टेबल रहता था, उसके ऊपर एक छोटा विंडो रहता था, वो विंडो में से एक लाल कलर का दवाई वो देगा, वो सबके लिए कॉमन रहता था, मोस्टली कॉमन रहता था। तो वो कंसेप्ट आज इतना बदल गया है, इतना चेंजेस उसमें आया है कि वी कांट बिलीव कितना हो सकता था। मैं 50 साल की बात कर रहा हूँ, मैं जब छोटा था तब तो हम डॉक्टर के पास जाते थे, बहुत सारे वैद्य ज्यादा रहते थे, डॉक्टर तो नहीं रहते थे, और फार्मेसी के कंसेप्ट ही नहीं था। लेकिन अभी तो बहुत अच्छा हो गया, हमारे लिए तो बहुत अच्छा हो गया। फार्मेसी कंसेप्ट इतना डेवलपमेंट किया है, इतने अच्छे इंप्रूवमेंट्स है, टेक्नोलॉजी का इतना अच्छा इस्तेमाल कर रहे हैं कि वी कांट बिलीव दैट कि ये अच्छा हो सकता है, इतना अच्छा हो सकता है।
सर मैं आपसे पूछना चाहती हूँ कि अभी आप दवाई लेने जब दुकान पे जाते हो
हाँ,
तो
हाँ।
आप कोई एक्स्ट्रा क्वेश्चन पूछते हो या फार्मासिस्ट आपको बताता है कि दवाई किस तरह से लेनी चाहिए, कब लेनी चाहिए, या आपके कोई भी सवाल, कभी आपने कुछ सवाल पूछे हैं फार्मासिस्ट से
नहीं,
दवाई
डेफिनेटली
को?
नहीं करना पड़ता है, क्योंकि प्रॉब्लम ऐसा रहता है कि डॉक्टर के पास इतना टाइम नहीं रहता, डॉक्टर नहीं बोल सकते, और उनके पास बाहर आने के बाद जब हम केमिस्ट के पास जाते हैं और दवाई लेते हैं तो उनको ही पूछना पड़ता है और वो इतने अच्छे तरह से समझाते हैं। मोस्टली एक हाथ दूसरा होगा कि नहीं बताता होगा कि उसके दुकान में गर्दी है कुछ है, लेकिन बहुत बहुत सारे अच्छी तरह से समझाते हैं। खाना कि डॉक्टर का जो लिखा हुआ रहता है मोस्टली आई आई थिंक दैट हमको नहीं समझ पड़ता है वो। और वो वहाँ जल्दी जल्दी में जो बोलते हैं खाना खाने के बाद, खाना खाने के बाद, खाना खाने के पहले, वो सब केमिस्ट ज्यादा बताते हैं। तो वी मस्ट एप्रिशिएट केमिस्ट।
थैंक यू सर। और तीसरा क्वेश्चन मुझे आपसे पूछना था कि आप दवाई लेने दुकान पे जाते हो, दवाई लेते हो, वो आपको ज्यादा पसंद है या घर बैठे ऑनलाइन फार्मेसी जो अभी निकले हैं, वो ऑनलाइन फार्मेसी से ऑर्डर करके आपके दवा का एक पैकेट घर में आता है, वो आपको
हाँ,
ज्यादा कन्वीनियंट लगता है?
मैं
कौन सा
इसके बारे
ज्यादा
में
सेफ?
मेरा एक बहुत बुरा एक्सपीरियंस आपको बता रहा हूँ कि ऑनलाइन तो अभी चालू हो गया, इसने मंगाया उसने हो गया तो मैंने भी मंगाया, तो लेकिन वो अच्छी बात नहीं है। एक एक तो गलत होती है, रिटर्न करना पड़ता है, उसमें टाइम जाता है। और जो केमिस्ट जो एडवाइस देता है, केमिस्ट जो सजेशन करता है, केमिस्ट जो आपसे बात करता है, प्रेम से बात करता है केमिस्ट, वो बात उसमें नहीं होती। वो आएगा, दरवाजा नॉक करेगा, दे जाएगा, चला जाएगा। उसमें कोई अच्छी वाली रिलेशन की बात नहीं होती। लेकिन केमिस्ट जो बोलते, केमिस्ट जो समझाते, वो बहुत अच्छे तरह से होता है। तो एक दो के पास टाइम नहीं होगा, लेकिन मोस्टली मैं पुणे में रहता हूँ अभी, तो मैं ग्रामीण भाग से यहाँ तक आया हूँ, तो मैं देखा हूँ सभी अच्छी तरह से ट्रीटमेंट देते हैं।
थैंक यू सर। सर
मैडम
रिगार्डिंग,
मैडम मैं एक क्वेश्चन नेवे जी से पूछना चाहूंगा।
बोलिए सर।
आपका कोई अच्छा एक्सपीरियंस आप हमारे साथ शेयर कर सकते हो कि एज अ कॉमन मैन आपको फार्मेसी स्टोर में जाने के बाद में कुछ अच्छी इंफॉर्मेशन मिली फार्मासिस्ट से? कुछ है आपके? बिकॉज हम कल पूरे विश्व में वर्ल्ड फार्मासिस्ट डे मना रहे हैं,
हाँ हाँ,
तो इसके आपके तरफ से, आपके जैसे सीनियर आदमी की तरफ से कुछ अगर अच्छा एक्सपीरियंस आया तो मुझे लगता है ये बहुत बड़ी बात फार्मासिस्ट के लिए और एज अ फार्मासिस्ट स्टूडेंट हम सब के लिए रहेगी। कुछ होगा तो प्लीज शेयर कीजिए।
मैं जब भी केमिस्ट के पास जाता हूँ तो केमिस्ट पहले फैमिली डॉक्टर का कंसेप्ट था ना, वैसा केमिस्ट का भी फैमिली केमिस्ट कंसेप्ट आ गया है। तो कल के दवाई का असर हुआ नहीं हुआ सर, क्या हुआ? कल के दवाई का प्रॉब्लम कम हुआ, ज़्यादा हुआ, क्या असर हुआ उसका? पहले ये बात पूछते हैं, फिर बाद में पूछते हैं कि वो दवाई बराबर राइट टाइम लिया, आपको याद कर दूं कौन सी लेनी थी? मैंने वहाँ लिया है, लेकिन उससे कोई प्रॉब्लम आया नहीं? बिल्कुल नहीं आया। तो फिर अभी ये कंटिन्यू करो और नेक्स्ट टाइम डॉक्टर डॉक्टर के पूछने के बाद इसको बंद करना, उसके सिवा बंद नहीं करना है। बहुत अच्छा एडवाइस करते हैं।
थैंक यू।
चलिए, थैंक यू वेरी मच
थैंक यू सर।
मैडम।
यस सर। सचिन कामले सर, अब जैसे टॉपिक आया है रिगार्डिंग द ऑनलाइन फार्मेसी, तो व्हाट डू यू थिंक कि बिकॉज ऑफ द कंफर्ट वी शुड प्रमोट द ऑनलाइन फार्मेसीज, or because of the safety we should detain the online pharmacy, or maybe because the counseling is required, monitoring is required,
इस क्वेश्चन
prescription
इज
filling
रिलेटेड।
is required to be monitored, we should always promote only the outlets of the community pharmacist?
सॉरी।
Well, I just mentioned that I think no service or no profession is a good or bad. It is up to the end user. It is up to the we people who give the justice to that, whether it is a better or not. How we can make it more useful rather than the misuse it. As per concern with the online pharmacy comes with the ease of convenience. It offers you the convenience, doorstep delivery, some economic benefit, everything. But this convenience comes with a cost. And now you need to decide whether this cost is affordable or not. The cost, what is it? Online, the drugs delivered by online, we never know the source. वो ड्रग कहाँ से आता है, दवाई कैसे आती है, या अगर काउंटरफिट है या स्पूरियस है। देर आर मेनी रीजन। बनावट तरीके की हो सकती है, या तो किसी के पास लाइसेंस नहीं है, ऐसे व्यक्ति ने बनाई है और ऐसे मार्केट में ऑफर किया है। इसमें क्या हो सकता है कि रैम्पट किसी भी तरह से ड्रग यूज करो, हैबिचुअल हो सकता है, जैसे कोडिन बेस्ड नशे की दवाइयां हो सकती है, एमटीपी अबॉर्शन के लिए जो ड्रग्स यूज किए जाते उसका मिसयूज हो सकता है, और उसमें भी एडवर्स इवेंट है, उसको मॉनिटरिंग करना काफी डिफिकल्ट हो जाता है. सो ऑल दिस एडवर्स drug event monitoring will go unmonitored, so the data will not be appropriate. Misuse, like for example, kids, they are in the digital world, they'll order whatever the medicine they want, they'll use it, they'll get addicted. So addiction के भी काफी सारे chances इसमें बहुत सारे हैं. So ये सब अगर देखा जाए तो at present we are not ready for the online. We need to do thorough investigation, thorough risk assessment of this online pharmacy, see what opportunities we have compared to the offline pharmacy, and take appropriate course of action. And if it is controllable beyond the limits, then only we can say. But at this moment, we can say that no to online pharmacy, because we do not have any drug regulatory mechanism to control it. इन द करंट सिनारियो, आज ऑफलाइन फार्मेसी डे टू डे मॉनिटर होती है, तो उसमें रेगुलरली उस फार्मेसी का विजिट होता है. उसके बावजूद भी हम लोग देखते कि किसी जगह बनावट तरह की ड्रग्स मिल गई, या विदाउट लाइसेंस दवाइयां है. कई सारे ऐसी चीजें हम पढ़ते हैं न्यूज में या व्हाट्सएप में, हमारे सामने आता है. तो ये ऑफलाइन ये रेगुलर मॉनिटर होने के बावजूद ये सिनारियो है. अगर सोचिए, अगर ऑनलाइन अगर इसको परमिशन अगर मिल गई, तो इसका मतलब कैनवास जो होगा वो कितना बड़ा होगा, और वो बियॉन्ड और लिमिटेशंस होगा. इसको कंट्रोल करना काफी मुश्किल होगा. वी आर नॉट रेडी एट दिस मोमेंट फॉर द ऑनलाइन फार्मेसी.
Yes, yes. Thank you, sir. Sir, after this question, audience and core committee members, the panel will be open for questions from everyone. So if you are having any questions, kindly be ready with the questions so that we can take them for the purpose of discussion. And before that, आनंद पाटिल सर, डॉक्टर, मैं आपसे पूछना चाहती हूँ कि as the question has come up regarding the quality of the medicine, and we are very much concerned. Now, everyone present here must be knowing about how much money we invest in maintaining the quality. Sachin Kamble sir, also you have worked in the manufacturing production section. Being the regulator, you know that how many laws we imply on before distributing the medicines, how many tests we are supposed to perform, how much is the cost that has been involved. So when in between there was a news that the physicians only are required to give the chemical name, not the brand name. The issue was going ahead with the innovators, generic, the branded generic, and other medicines. What do you think? What was the reason behind oppose for this particular implementation?
See, although we are said to be a generic capital of the world, again, despite of this, there are some concerns among the doctors about the quality of the generic medications. So that was major concern about why not to write generic. Nobody's saying no to writing generic medicine. The only oppose was to say why only generic. Can I write name of a generic and in the bracket brand name? So if that option also is given, everybody is open to that. But the lot of hue and cry happened because of the word only generics were supposed to be prescribed. So when I say only generic name has to be prescribed, then the whole what do you say the decision making it become difficult, because I write paracetamol, but which paracetamol is more effective in my practice, my experience, I only know. So if I only write some generic name and then the choice is left to somebody else, then possibly that was the concern, whether that drug will work or whether it will not work. And if that doesn't work, the liability will come on the doctor, because you have prescribed this drug and the drug did not work. So today, because doctors, they have been using certain brands for a long period, and they are very comfortable with the effects of those drugs, the side effects of those drugs, and they are well aware about how the drug works. And that is why possibly they said, instead of saying to have a regulation of saying write only generic name, there could be preferably generic names and in the bracket brand name. If that happens, I think that would be welcome.
Okay. Sachin Kamble sir, as sir is saying that we don't know, like, how a drug will work by giving only the generic name. Do you think any substandard drugs, there is some lacuna, the loophole in our system, by virtue of which the substandard drugs also can come in the market without testing? And how the license and approvals are given for this kind of drugs?
Basically, the concept of generic as well as the branded, it's a much more debatable thing. Okay. See, every drug, whichever is coming in the market to the chemist shop, when the drugs gets manufactured, it has passed through thorough of testings, and then only it will release, be it's a branded or be it's a generic. The moment and every it's a routinely monitoring happens with these factories as well as in the market also. The regulatory authorities pick up samples, generic samples also gets picked up, and the branded sample also gets picked up, and both are analyzed. If it's are in line with the defined norms, it will continue. And if any not of standard quality drugs occurs, immediately the sale of such drugs will be stopped. It will be communicated to the distribution channel to withdraw the drugs from the market, and appropriate course of action also will be initiated against the manufacturer. Now, it is not that all the standard drugs are in the market will be like effective and all. Many times we come across standard drug also fails with the quality test, and the generic drugs also will fail. It is, as I said, it is a debatable. If the generic regulations would have come, that is a prescription with which was mandatory, it would have gone as a pharmacist dependent system. Now it's a doctor dependent system. Whatever the doctor writes, the act allows it's not to substitute it. Whatever the prescription is written, that has to be dispensed by the pharmacist. But if the generic terms come, it is the choice with the pharmacist or with the what we can call as patient also, and it will be beneficial because generic drugs are the off patented and those are more economic. It's available in the market.
ओके ओके अरुण नेवे सर, आपसे पूछना चाहती हूँ मैं कि अभी बहुत सारी फार्मेसीज आई है, जनरी लाइफ और बहुत सी चेन फार्मेसीज आई है, तो अगर कोई मेडिकल शॉप आपको थोड़ी सस्ती मेडिसिन देता है जनरिक, तो आप वो लेना पसंद करते हैं या हमेशा जो आप फार्मासिस्ट के पास जाके जो अपने ब्रांड का दवाई होता है वो लेना पसंद करते हैं?
मोस्टली डॉक्टर ने जो प्रिस्क्रिप्शन दिया रहता है वो मैं ज़्यादा प्रेफर करता हूँ। मैं रिक्वेस्ट नहीं करता कि भाई मेरे को जेनरिक का होना और ये भी होना, लेकिन मोस्टली डॉक्टर जो रिकमेंड करते हैं, फार्मासिस्ट को पता है मेरे बारे में कि भाई इनको दूसरा नहीं चलेगा, तो वो देते हैं। बाकी वो ऐसा नहीं कहते कि ये ले लो, ये ब्रांड का दे दो, ये मेरे पास नहीं है तो दूसरा ले लो, ऐसा भी नहीं कभी कहते।
ओके ओके So session is now open for everyone. If anyone want to ask the question from our core committee members, they can just unmute themselves and they can ask the question. And if it is from the participants, in that case, kindly put your questions in the chat box so that we can take them for the discussion.
I think just I'll add one more comment before we take the questions. We have spoken about the role of community pharmacist, the clinical pharmacist, the R&D pharmacist, but the academic pharmacist, I must compliment all of you who are producing all this pharmacists, and they're doing a great job to the country. So congratulations to academic pharmacists.
Thank you, sir. In the meantime, question is coming. Sachin Kamble sir, one more question I want to ask regarding the quality. As you have worked in the production, you are a regulator now. Tell me why there is a difference if one plant, like, if it is a US FDA approved plant, it is having some other dignity. If one plant is there for the domestic market, it is having some other dignity. Why such kind of differences are there? Are we really compromising on the quality of the medicines in our country?
No, basically there is no compromising in the quality. See, the plants, every regulations have different the standards. US FDA has their own different standards, as well as Indian FDA has a different standard. But Indian regulations are at par with the other guidelines. So there is no much difference in that. Only the facility wise, the whatever the different like specialty products are there, accordingly the facility has to be make available.
Okay. Yes. Anyone from the core committee member want to ask any question?
Brilliant.
Yes.
Professor Dr. Bhusmure, I would like to ask question to the respected Sachin Kamble sir as well as Patil sir. There are so many challenges, opportunities, as well as scope is there for the pharma, and India is the leading country or topmost country in the world producing the medicines and providing the quality medicine to the across the. But sir, in the syllabus as well as in so many countries, preventive department, preventive cardiology as well as preventive pharmacy has been introduced. So in that connection, I would like to have some questions, and as well as according to the ICH guidelines, so many ICH guidelines are, and so many pharma industries also going to be implementing that guidelines. In that connection, what the pharma industries, how much guidelines they are going to be implemented, and according to that guideline, is there need of automation into the pharmaceutical industries? Because a lot of guidelines are there, either pharma industries, Indian pharma industry, they are going to be implemented into because ICH-Q10 challenging guidelines, the quality by design approach, process analytical technology, whatever the literatures we have gone through literatures, we come to know that are the biggest challenges to maintain the quality into the product to product, consistent quality into the product. So in the two lines, what's your opinion, sir? One question is to the Sachin Kamble sir regarding the automation, need of the automation in the pharmaceutical industry according to ICH guidelines. And question is to the Dr. Patil sir, preventive pharmacy.
Well, I just answer with whatever the automation you talk. See, the guidelines with respect to automation, it's already in place, which is called a good automated manufacturing practices. And that is with respect to manufacturing. And in other words, we can say the CFR 21, Code of Federal Regulations. In our Indian regulatory, those guidelines are with a different name, which is a part of Schedule M of the Drug and Cosmetic Act. With respect to other countries' guidelines, those guidelines comes under as electronic guidelines or as a Code 21 CFR, the Code of Federal Regulation. In every whatever the machines are being used, so such computer system validation has to be in place. How does the machine functions, right from its what we can call the design qualification to the design qualification, installation qualification, then comes as its working qualification and performance qualification. All these things has to be monitored with the appropriate and detailed documentation process. So these are in place since long. I hope it's satisfactory with respect to your question.
Yeah, process analytical technology is challenging, and I think according to my inputs, so because we used to be interact with our alumni member, those who are working in the pharma industry, so we used to be read into the theoretically, sir. We read into the theoretical, but if you ask some questions in practical ways, so there are some gaps in industry. Yeah. That people are not knowing some things.
Right.
That is
See,
also there.
it's up to them how to get. See, it's up to the end user how to get involved and get their system thorough. Right now, GAMP 5 is running. Previously, it was GAMP 4.
Yeah.
Okay. Sir, in the same sequence, do we allow fully automated system, any line, or it has to be partial with the human interference, according to FDA?
See, basically, there are no such guidelines like it has to be partial or fully. It has to be ensure that it functions appropriately with the intended purpose of the use. Like it delivers the expected way. The design of the instrument, what is it meant for? It is giving the appropriate output, and it should be able to reproduce it. It is not like one time it is giving the one result and other times it's giving the other result. It has to be consistently able to reproduce the intended set of results. Then only the system will be suitable for that purpose of use.
Okay.
Coming to the answer to the question of preventive pharmacy, I think if you look at the journey of the healthcare from maybe a few decades today, one of the times was there when we had an infection as a major threat to life. But today that's more or less taken care of by the antibiotics. And now we have a concern of non-communicable diseases like diabetes, hypertension, arthritis, cancer, and all that. So obviously, the prevention is known to be better than cure, and preventive pharmacy is going to be very useful. However, as far as the allopathy or the modern medicine is concerned for prevention, the pharma drugs for prevention, they have very limited utility. It's more of the nutraceuticals, more of the nutrition, which is into preventive therapy, and nutraceutical is a completely different ball game as compared to the pharmaceuticals, and there is a huge industry which is looking after the wellness of the people, the vitamins and the minerals. But again, point of caution is that everything, although it's said to be safe, it has to be taken judiciously within the scope, within the given limitation within the RDA, and that will help us to prevent most of the diseases, provided we have better lifestyle rather than being dependent on the drug or the nutraceuticals.
Thank you, sir.
So, according to the latest inputs, some branches are working in that light, because our body have total mechanism to produce a lot of fighting chemicals. So epigenetics has already proven whatever the environment is there, whatever our lifestyle is there, whatever our thought processes are there, with the help of that, we can produce a lot of drugs inside the body, and we can fight the challenging disease, and we can overcome that.
Absolutely.
So in that line, so many.
I think there's some disturbance to your voice, but
Yes.
I completely agree to your thought process. They have to go through the regulatory process, get approval for the preventive or prevention of particular disease, and then they will be utilized by the patients and the doctors.
Correct, correct. Sir, thank you very much. Now going ahead with some of the important questions for the students, Mrs. Aishwarya. I wanted to ask you that being the student of the pharmacy, any profession can flourish when the young minds are working in the upgradation of the profession, to work in the profession. So what do you think? You have heard a lot of conversation regarding the clinical sector, the clinical maybe contribution of the pharmacists. Then we are talking about the automation, the pharmaceutical manufacturing, the requirements of the more amount of the generics. So what do you think with the students' perspective, that whether industrial pharmacy profession and the related syllabus will be useful for the students, or the clinical pharmacy and the pharmaceutical care type of syllabus will be needed for the students? In what the students are more interested? If you have done some discussions, what were the discussions you have amongst yourself?
I think that at least my point of view is that it should be more inclined towards clinical pharmacy point of view, because anyway in industrial, when we go in the industry, we are not made to work directly. We are also given a training, and the theoretical knowledge from the industry is anyway there in our syllabus. So when it comes to clinical, when we go to a community pharmacy, we are not given any training. We have to directly be ready for the job. So I think it should be more inclined towards clinical pharmacy. Also, something like therapeutic drug monitoring and all should be, mentioned in the syllabus. Some drugs require monitoring, which is not possible for the physicians to do. Some drugs like ticosine, then flecainide, they require monitoring. So the labs can be done by the pharmacist. They can be cross-checked by the pharmacist. So this type of thing should be included in the syllabus.
Maybe one more suggestion in this regard could be those at least pharmacy colleges, we have attached hospitals who have this liberty or maybe a prestige, the opportunity. They can have rotatory internships of the student in the clinics or in the hospital, so that they are aware what is been done in the hospital and they get more of a hands-on experience.
Okay. Yes. Yes. Mrs. Aishwarya, can you suggest any other innovative roles which could be offered by the pharmacist as the young minds?
I think vaccine administration could be one role which pharmacist could do. Like when we saw COVID vaccine had come, there was a huge rush of people and everyone was confused what to do, what not to do. So in this field, I think pharmacists could play a major role. If these basic things like administration of vaccines or putting on a IV line, these things are also included in our syllabuses, we can be of great help to the healthcare professionals, not only just drug sellers, but also we can be called as a total healthcare professional by knowing these basic skills. So I think one is vaccine administration, and one is old age homes or tertiary care homes also require pharmacist or any healthcare professional to be present. So affording a doctor or a healthcare professional is not, they cannot afford it, because they work on less budgets. So we can Mr. Pharmacist can also be a part of that sector and help patients over there to get their basic healthcare needs.
Yes, yes. Good suggestion, actually. What you are saying, care homes is a need of the hour nowadays in the country, and pharmacists can monitor the patients who are there in the care homes. It is a good suggestion. And lastly, from my side, the last question. The buzzword nowadays is artificial intelligence, who is more intelligent than anyone. So over here, artificial intelligence people are using almost in every sector. In the pharmacy profession also, whether it is coming to the manufacturing, it is deciding any particular, getting the knowledge about anything in the manufacturing sector. Also, we are using the AI. Regarding the uses of the drugs also, we are using AI. The dose of the drug also, we are going ahead. So how safe it is to use the AI for the uses of the drug, according to you, Dr. Patil sir and Kamble sir? Should we have regulations on them, or should we prohibit the content to be displayed in AI which is in relation to the uses of the drugs? What do you think about it?
Okay, I think the word artificial intelligence starts with the artificial, it's not natural. We have a natural intelligence, and we train these machines, machine learning or the computers to work as per our algorithms. So AI is going to help us if it is used judiciously, provided we train them sufficiently. Unfortunately, all the outputs, I mean, the output that is given by the AI will depend upon what input you are giving the AI. So therefore, we have to be little more, I would say, proactive in giving the data to the AI. Train the AI in such a way that the accuracy, the sensitivity, specificity increases. But again, there has to be regulations, because the patient data and all this confidentiality, a lot of things will be in place. So as far as the healthcare is concerned, AI has a huge role, but nothing to worry, is going to help the clinicians and the patients to get better decisions. We are not going to be dependent on AI, but AI is going to help us to take the decisions better.
So maybe compiling the data will be a useful application of AI.
Yeah, so exactly.
Okay. What do you think, Kamble sir?
See, definitely AI will be helpful, but it's again up to us, like what purpose we are going to use AI. And again, as I said, that the system has to be first like thoroughly validated and ensure that it is giving the desired output. Then only we should introduce such things. Like periodically we can involve the AI, use of AI at up to certain level, and once we gain the good amount of confidence, then only it should be accomplished for its usage.
Sir, can we legally restrict the use of AI? So as sir said, that to get a output, we have to judicially give the inputs to the AI so that it will be useful. But then who is giving the input? That how we can restrict?
See, exactly. See, basically, there are at this moment there are no regulations. Okay, the AI, like, we cannot stop misuse of this. What again? It's what command is given and what it is going to get delivered. It depends on that. So it has to be trained in that way. But there need to be written down the regulations, and then only it should be introduced. Like, the restricted regulations has to be there, the way it is for the atomic oriented things like atomic energy or atomic activities. The regulations are much restricted. In that way, it has to be restricted such purposes, and the regulation has to be written down. Then only it should be introduced. Otherwise, its use or misuse, it will be out of control.
Yeah, for example, you just write down the symptoms. I'm getting cough, fever, cold, and so and so. And the AI is going to give you a diagnosis, but don't depend upon the diagnosis. Consult your doctors, because the AI is just going to give you this is a possibility. So ultimately, the concerned expert has to certify this, and therefore AI is going to only be useful, but provided we use it judiciously and make use for betterment of the patients and not against it.
Exactly, like the AI will just identify what we have passed the command. For example, as he said that it's a cough. Cough may be because of various reasons. In that, it has to analyze what is the reason behind that, and then only appropriate course of action can be taken. So in up to that level, it has to be reached. Then only we will be able to say that yes, it can be useful for our intended purpose.
True, sir. True. Is there any more question? One question maybe we can take, looking at the time.
Hi, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Good evening, everyone. My question is to Dr. Anand Patil, sir. Arun Neveji told that the physicians don't have enough time to counsel the patients and to give the more information about the drug and all. So, is there any really need to add clinical pharmacist in the routine clinical practice on daily practice?
I think the answer is clearly yes, but there has to be a proper maybe a system or a process to demarcate, as I said, the roles. As sir said, the physicians don't have time. Possibly, many of them have a time, but the barrier between the physician and the patient, many patients they hesitate to ask the questions to doctors, and because of the lot of work pressure, doctor also might not be able to answer all questions of the patients at the same time. So that could be one of the reasons. And especially if you go to the government hospitals, the number of doctors versus number of patients is a huge disparity. In such cases, obviously pharmacist will play a huge role. In corporate hospital, the settings might be different because they have, particular slots of the patient, appointments of the patients, where doctors might be able to give more time. But in government hospital, the scenario is different. But we cannot segregate is a government hospital and a private hospital. Patient is a patient. Therefore, the service has to be same whether it's a government hospital or whether it's a private hospital.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
And
sir.
my last question is to Arun Neve, sir.
Okay.
Sir, you told like the pharmacists are doing the best job
डॉक्टर मनोज जी
nowadays.
हिंदी में पूछिए उनको.
Yes, sir. Sorry, sir. Sorry.
No
अरुण
problem.
जी, आपने बताया कि फार्मासिस्ट बहुत अच्छा काम कर रहे हैं, देन मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम काउंसलिंग करते हैं, दवाओं के बारे में आपको बताते हैं. तो मेरे साइड से ये है, आपको फार्मासिस्ट में और क्या करना चाहिए इन कमिंग फ्यूचर, जो कि इंडियन हेल्थ केयर सोसाइटी का नाम भी बढ़ जाए, फार्मासिस्ट का नाम बढ़ जाए, और आपको क्या क्या चाहते हो कि फार्मासिस्ट साइड ये होना चाहिए इन कमिंग फ्यूचर?
आज जो भी कर रहे हैं तो इतना अच्छा कर रहे हैं, तो उसमें और थोड़ा जोड़ दे. फॉर एग्जांपल कि होम डिलीवरी और अदर जो छोटे छोटे इश्यू रहते हैं, फॉर एग्जांपल जस्ट लाइक आवर सीनियर सिटीजन, तो उसके ऊपर थोड़ा ज्यादा ध्यान दिया तो आई थिंक इट इज बेटर.
ओके, थैंक यू सर. थैंक यू मैम.
Thank you everyone. So sir, should we stop over here?
Yes, we should.
Okay, because time is a constraint, and everyone is bound with the time.
Yeah.
So thank you everyone. So as this discussion was really a brainstorming session, how we were expecting We got many inputs from our eminent panelists. We can say that we have understood the current needs, the problems, the ways to overcome the problems, the current healthcare scenario, the scope for expansion of the pharmaceutical services. And I can say that this panel discussion will surely give us insight to enrich our services to the society. What was the aim for today's panel discussion, basically. And thank you all for a wonderful discussion, for coming over here, giving your inputs, giving your time. And coming to the formal end of today's program, I request here Dr. Shefali Thakkar from D.Y. Patil School of Pharmacy to propose vote of thanks. Over to you, Dr. Shefali.
Thank you, ma'am. Respected esteemed guest and fellow pharmacist, I, Dr. Shefali Thakkar, stand before you today with immense gratitude as we conclude our celebration of World Pharmacist Day and the enlightening panel discussion on the very crucial topic, pharmacists strengthening the healthcare system. It has been an enriching experience, and I would like to extend my heartfelt thanks to all those who have contributed to the success of the event. First and foremost, I want to express our deepest appreciation to our distinguished panelists who have graced us with their insights, their knowledge, and their expertise. Your contributions have shed light on the very pivotal role of pharmacists, which play in enhancing healthcare system, and we are grateful for your time and expertise. I also extend my sincere thanks to our National President, Professor Dr. Nagappa, and our WRC President, Professor Dr. Rakesh Somani. Your support and commitment to advancing the field of pharmacy are invaluable. A special note of gratitude to our organizing committee of WRC ACPI, whose tireless efforts and dedication have ensured the smooth execution of this event. Last but not the least, I want to thank our audience for their active participation. Thank you once again. Let us continue to work together and strengthen the healthcare system.
Thank you, everybody, and wish you a happy World Pharmacist Day.
Yes,
Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.